We will be looking at the Zoom first and looking at YouTube second. So don't worry about it. All right, let's see if we're live. Let me do a check really quick. Let me
Right, girl, let's make sure.
Right, we got to make sure before we get started. Because I've been having some bad luck with technology these past couple of sessions.
They're not able to join. I don't know.
Join what, the Zoom? I would say give them the link, Sonia, and the password in the chat. I know we had some new eHustle Club members that came in today, so they may not be used to where things are on the dashboard and things like that. So do that for me, please, and make sure that they know the password is all caps for the Zoom. Please, and make sure that they know this. Mute myself. All right, I think we're alive this whole time. Right, we are on live. Let me go ahead. Did I just mute this? There we go. All right, so we are on live now, Zai. All right, y'all. So e-hustlers, let's be on our best behavior. I'm just kidding. But
yeah, turn up.
So hey to everyone that's watching on YouTube, whether you marked your calendar for this or whether you just saw that I was going live and you decided to hop on, nonetheless, you made a great decision because tonight is going to be so good. We are having the inaugural edition of eHustle, the eHustle Club's Hustle Talks Spotlight edition. Okay, so pretty much what the eHustle Club is, it is my membership club for entrepreneurs who are really into growing their knowledge on a weekly basis. We learn from guest speakers who come and host master classes. They also learn from me. I teach lessons. We have Q&A sessions, audits. We do challenges. We have sessions such as this where we get to talk to real life entrepreneurs that are out here doing the dang thing. And so today you guys get to sit back and be, a part of this greatness that's happening right now. And what Hustle Talk Spotlights is, it is where I bring in a past client or a current client or a current eHustle Club member who has seen some success in their business and who I feel like their journey needs to be highlighted as well as their brand. And so today we have Zayana, aka Zai, who is the CEO of Zion Organic Essentials. And we are going to be getting into her entrepreneurship journey, her advice for people who are just launching, as well as how she was able to see success during her launch and the first few months of her business. Okay, so y'all are in for a treat. And before we begin, Zai, I just have to tell you that you DM'd me at the right time because yes, I was working on revamping the eHustle Club because we're now in the eHustle Club's 3.0 version, right? So yeah, we started in 2020. And then pretty much I saw that there were a lot of improvements that needed to be made. And as I was brainstorming improvements, you DM'd me all the wins that you were experiencing. And it dawned on me that we should have Hustle Talk Spotlight.
Look at God.
Right? Look at God. And I was like, okay, we got to make this happen because at first it was just going to be Hustle Talks where I bring in these successful, huge entrepreneurs. And I said, there are people in the Hustle Babe community that are out here making moves that their brand needs to be, put on a platform. Although I don't have the largest platform, I like to say that I got a big enough platform that we can make some things shake. Okay.
That's right.
That's yes. So let's go ahead and get into it. You ready?
I'm ready. Are y'all ready, audience?
Yes.
It's going to be fun. This is going to be good.
Yes, it's going to be so good. So first, let's start off by you telling us just a little bit more about your brand, a little bit more about yourself as well. Who is Zayana and what is Zion Organic Essentials?
Okay, so who am I? Well, I'm a person that wears many hats, not only in the business, but just in general. And I feel like this business was very purpose driven because I actually had a previous fashion line that I had since 2014, but I
Mhm.
just felt like I lost that motivation and that drive. And I was just like, I need something that represents me. Like I felt like I couldn't really find my identity in
Mhm.
that brand. So I didn't know, like, was I doing it because of this reason? And, so one day I really sat and I thought, and it honestly just came to me. And I honestly truly think it was God that
Mhm.
said, this is what you need to do. Like, you are the one that's going to have to do this. So anyways, I
Mhm.
started a plant-based feminine hygiene brand. So a lot of women over the years, like friends and just like women in general, would come to me and confide in me about their like feminine hygiene problems. And they were comfortable to tell me like very intimate details of what they're going through. And I always would give them a solution because I believed in using plant-based products for down there, because I'm very sensitive. And, a lot of things are very harmful, especially for the Black and
Mhm.
Brown community. So
Yep.
it just dawned on me. I'm like, I'm recommending all these other products and I truly don't really know what's in them.
Mhm.
I should take it upon myself to create a safe, healthy, reliable product that women can trust and use, from preteens just getting their period to
Mhm.
my age to women that are suffering with menopause. Like, we need this. So these are my products. I have different washes.
Thanks for the product showcase.
You know, like, do it. So I have products that are targeted for women that suffer with BV, yeast infections. I didn't want to just put out a soap because there's specific things that we all go through.
Mhm.
So, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. And then this one is just to keep a good pH, smelling good, feeling good, all that good stuff. And then I have the sprays and the scrubs and the whole nine. But even now, like, the women have cried to me saying that this has changed their life, and even still confiding me, telling me like what they're really going through, what this is smelling like, what this is,
Yeah.
and I felt like I wanted to create this safe space of not just about products. I wanted to feel like a self-care thing, like you're doing this and you're using Zion Organic Essentials because we are helping you with your self-care journey. Because if you're not right down there, you're not right. So we represent self-care, mental health, just the whole nine. I could just go on for days. I'm very passionate about it.
I mean, and you should be, right? It's all about combining passion with a problem and creating this bomb, well-branded solution that honestly ends up impacting thousands, if not millions of people like around the world, right? So I'm happy that you are so passionate about your brand, because you should be. And that actually leads me into something that I want to ask you, because I feel like some people struggle with a product idea or a business idea, right? And they end up just throwing out anything out there. Like, for example, in 2020 and 2021, those years for new businesses were booming years, right? So according to some stats that I dug up from NPR.org, 4.4 million businesses were birthed in 2020 and 5.4 million were birthed in 2021. Now, that's great. I love people out here getting it and starting their businesses. But to be honest, there's some people who start businesses just for a quick buck or just because, right? And obviously, I know that you started Zoe. By the way, that's her nickname for her brand, right? I know that
Yes.
you started Zoe with a purpose and a mission in mind. I also know that God led you to this, right? So I want you to touch a little bit more on that, if you don't mind. Like, what exactly was the vision for this brand, and what problems or issues or needs did you see that made you want to start a feminine care brand?
Yes. So basically, I knew that the people around me needed a solution. And
Mm-hmm.
I needed a solution as well, because I'm a female and, I've always been a self-care junkie. That's what I call my audience and my customers. I love taking care of myself. And it's not even sometimes always about the actual products. It's just how they make you feel and the mind space that it puts you in. So as far as the packaging, I want it to feel good. I want you to be able to want to have it in your bathroom. I want it to look visually pleasing. I want it to make, just set the vibe. And even my website, when you go there, you'll feel like I want to set that aroma, like that spa, like luxury. I need this. I want to relax tonight. I want to take a bubble bath. Let me grab my Zoe. Let me get my wine. It's a vibe. Like I want it to be a whole vibe rather than just, I can't explain it, but I just really wanted it to tie into your self-care, feminine hygiene. I not only want this, but I need this. It helps me in all areas. I just started doing these lives of, intimate conversations. So I want to also know my audience. I want to connect with them and not just them telling me their feminine hygiene problems, but we're also started this community where we're telling each other our real problems. And I remember you mentioned like dating your audience. And I feel like that's what I've been doing, and it's just been flowing naturally. So yeah, the vibe of the aesthetic of my brand is really just spa vibes, luxury, calm, self-care, just all the goodness that we as women need. We go through a lot. We're day to day hustle and bustle. At night or in the morning, we need to just take that, even if it's 10 minutes, to just remind ourselves that we got to take care of ourselves. We have to use certain products that are going to help us and not harm us. Because another reason why I was extremely passionate to start this, a lot of the products that are on the market that are targeted for feminine hygiene are actually dangerous. They will cause yeast infections. They will cause BV, itch, irritation, odor. And they're marketed to us like, oh no, this is going to help that. No, it's actually causing that. It's causing different types of cancers and all of that. So I pride myself in the ingredients that I use. Everything is plant-based. Everything is, you can pronounce. Everything is very gentle, anti-itch and irritation. I pride myself in that because I've been through it. I know what it feels like to spend all your money on these products and they simply don't work or make the situation worse. So
yeah, and from the sounds of it, it sounds like you realize that obviously as women, we have needs down there, we have issues down there. And one of the things that you mentioned when you were kind of just pointing out a couple of your products is that you create a product for specific reasons, not a one size fits all wash, but there are specific products to help you with pH. There are specific products to help you with whatever else that you may be going through, the odor or the BV. There are specific products for that. So what I hear from you is that you understood that the problem was that there were too many one size fit all solutions on the market that were actually causing more problems than actually helping those problems. So you created this product to be the solution to that. But then also from learning your audience and dating your audience, you realize that your mental shifts when you don't feel good down there. So it's important to give them that self-care aspect, to give them that luxurious feel, and also to connect to them on other levels, like you said, during your lives with those conversations about other things that we go through as women, right? So it sounds like you literally nailed it on the head with your problem and solution analysis. I like to say that, but you nailed it on the head with that, right? And so you also mentioned dating your audience. So do you mind, I guess, giving the eHustlers and the people who are watching on YouTube, which someone said you're beautiful, by the way. So I had to tell you that. Violetta said that you are so beautiful. But do you mind giving them an example of how you dated your audience and what did that mean to you?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to just start off by saying I never thought of it like that until you mentioned how important it is, because me looking at other brands, I feel like I'm kind of a part of that brand, or I feel like I kind of know the owner, so I want to make my customers feel like, not that I'm like easy accessible, but like we're homegirls, like me. And I feel like the way you should date your audience is you need to make content for each stage. So someone that's early on in the relationship. They don't know your product. They don't know why they should trust you, or why you the brand, because this one is a little cheaper. So why don't I just go over here? You know, and it's just different stages. Then as they get to know you, they might be thinking about it, might be viewing the website, adding stuff in the cart, but still a little unsure. So you kind of just want to make them feel comfortable, educate them on the product, tell them why you are the one for them. And, you know, as it gets, you know, a little bit more intimate, it'll be more so like, okay, now we're dating. Now they're really thinking about purchasing and they're excited. And when you get married, they made the purchase, and you know, now they can't wait for them to receive the package. But you want to make it kind of fun, and you don't want to like you don't want to put too much pressure on them about purchasing your product. You want to kind of make it seem a little effortless. Effortless. So you want to talk about other things than just buy now, here's a sale, hey, how's your day going today, how are you feeling? Because I know we all going through it. How you feeling down there? Are you itchy? Well, we might be the solution, because we have this Collider Silver and it works for this. So, you know, let us know. We're here if you need us. Right. Rather than the approach of, you need this, buy this now. If you're not buying this now, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, no, people don't want to feel like that, because people don't want to feel like they're getting scammed. People don't want to feel like they're wasting their time or their money. They want to feel like they invested in something, even if it's $10. They invested in something that they're going to want to keep coming back to. So you just kind of want to build that like homegirl relationship. So I call my customers and my audience sis, hey girl, how you doing? Because I really want to know. Like, you know, and I really have the heart for it. I'm not just saying it to you know, like I really want to know how you doing, sis. Like, so yeah, dating your audience is extremely important.
Oh, and thank you for that. That was a great explanation of it all, because that's something that I taught in the target audience workshop, which I remember you attended the first ever one in January. I only did it twice, but you attended the first one that I did. And it was a lot of information packed into that short.
I have my notes.
Right. And so it's nice to hear you say that and to hear how you've used it in your business, because it does work, right? Dating your audience does work, connecting with them. They're not just, they're not just a pocketbook, right? They want to feel heard. They want to feel seen, especially when you have a product that's affecting their most intimate area. Right? They need to build that connection with you, right? If I buy a product that's supposed to grow my edges, I want to feel like I connect with you, because hello, right? It's how I look. It's going to be affecting my confidence. It's going to affect all of those things. So I'm happy that you touched on that, right? And since we brought up the target audience a little bit, I want to ask you, were there any other lessons you got from the target audience workshop that you have applied to your business? I'm just interested, because I like
definitely. I know the demographic situation really helped me. The demographic explanation, shall I say, because it's not just, okay, say for instance, you live in Texas, right? And you're kind of just speaking to people that live in Texas. So you're saying Texas slang, or you're having photo shoots all year round in a hot setting. It's not gonna appeal to me in New York, because it's winter now and you're at the beach, and it's, you know, so demographic, age, what they watch, what they listen to, like, you know, all of these things play a part in your target audience, because it's not just, okay, like I said, you live in Texas, so this is how this goes, but it might be different in New York. So we have to appeal to New York. We have to appeal to Atlanta. So it's different content and different avenues of marketing, such as email, social media, maybe a little TikTok, and, you know, just all these things. So it's not just, like you said, a one size fit all. So.
Right. Exactly. Everyone's unique in their own way, and your brand is unique as well. So it's so important to study your audience and build a brand that has a strong foundation, that has a well mapped out target audience. because that's going to take your brand far, right? You're going to be able to see success from that. And we're going to talk about your success a little bit later, but I have to shout out somebody on YouTube said, my mom said that she likes to pronounce every ingredient in her feminine wash. So she's happy that you went all natural.
Yes, because it's like the 17 million letter word. It's like, okay, what is that? No, we have this. You can Google it. You can pronounce it.
Exactly. And then we have Jessica. She said, right, mom. And then there's some ladies cheering you on in the eHustle Club. And they said you had a great dating explanation about the
thank you.
So yes, I told y'all were going to get gems tonight. Like, not from me, really from her. I'm just here. Right. I'm just here asking the questions. But yes, so we touched a little bit on target audience and you talked a little bit about content, right? And so obviously you launched this year, I would say like an early spring, late winter launch. And so content played a big part in your strategy. Target audience played a big part in your strategy. And when I say strategy, because you just launched, I'm talking specifically your launch strategy, right? So I guess, what were some of the actions that you took during your pre-launch stage that worked very well for you? And then what were some actions that you took that didn't work so well for you?
Okay, so some actions that I took that worked well was I got people excited beforehand. Like, I wasn't like a surprise launch, like, because I've done that in the past with my old brand and that never works. And I always was like, I don't want nobody to know what I'm doing because, I just want to come out and surprise. And surprise, I have no orders because nobody knows what I'm selling and if they should invest. Because that's what you have to look at it as. People are investing in your business. So, the things that I use that really worked for me was I got people like so excited. I started a waiting list and I would have people sign up and join. That went okay, but I feel like it was more so the content that I was creating. I really tried to embody like the spa, like luxury vibe. At first, they didn't know exactly what I was going to be making my brand about. So I did different avenues. I did YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the email wait list, and all that good stuff. So they didn't know. And then I did something on YouTube. I did a giveaway. And I was just like, if you can guess my new brand that I'm coming out with, you'll win this, right? So now I'm getting YouTube excited, like, oh, let's guess. Okay, what? And now they're waiting to see what am I going to post about that it is me revealing it. Then now I reveal it. Okay, now when is she going to launch? Okay, now she, so it just gave that vibe. And I did the same thing on Instagram, but yeah, so those were things that really worked. The things that weren't super, super successful, like I said, the waiting list, it was good, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like a lot, but as time went on, the email list grew. But I'd probably say that was the only thing that I felt like, in the beginning stages, that was like, okay, I thought that would be a little better. But as far as the content, that played a big, big part in getting people excited.
The high quality content, because I love the content. Okay. I saw what you did for your recent collection launch. I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. I'm at the conference like, oh my God. But no, seriously, you mentioned YouTube. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel
for your brand.
It's personal, but I talk about hair, my brand, all that good stuff.
What is it? What's the
It's just my first and last name, Zionia Francis.
Okay. Okay, cool beans. I'll make sure, let me type that in the chat so I can remember to put it at the bottom in the description. I think somebody asked on YouTube too, what's the YouTube? Yeah. Yes. All right, cool beans. So you mentioned YouTube, you mentioned TikTok, you mentioned Instagram, the email, and that content played a big part into that. And I love how you segmented your drops, kind of, where they didn't know what you were releasing, and then you told them what it would be, and then they didn't know the date, and then you told them that date, because that builds the suspense up. It's kind of like watching a movie, how you're just building up that anticipation until something happens, right? I'm a big fan of Lifetime, so even though they all have the same plot, and I know
you just gotta love it though.
Right. You gotta love it because it builds up onto this big shebang. You know they're gonna fight. Somebody's just gonna fall down the stairs or something, right?
It's like you gotta love it. And you act surprised every time.
Exactly. You act surprised every time. And it's just so good that I want to watch every new movie that drops. So think of your launch as a movie, y'all. Like when you're creating, that kind of storyline for what your launch marketing strategy is going to look like. So I love that you did that. That's very unique. And shout out to that, because clearly it worked, right? It clearly worked, because correct me if I'm wrong, but you sold out within 48 hours, right? When you first launched?
And I have it actually on YouTube. I was like, wait, what is going? Okay, I have no more products.
Go see that. I love watching those types of videos. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. I feel like I'm behind. Like, but yes. So you sold out within 48 hours. I guess walk me through what that day was like when you realized that you sold out. Like, how did you feel? Did you expect it? I guess just paint the picture for me.
Okay, so before I launched, obviously it's your emotions are everywhere, because you're like, is it gonna do good? It like, what's gonna happen? But I was very confident, and I felt like I, did everything I needed to do. So it was just time to put it out there. But I said I did want to film, and I wanted to document everything. So the first day that I launched, unfortunately, I didn't get to document it because it was just so much going on. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I launched, like I had the Shopify app on my phone, and it's just like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, Mom, look what's going on. And she was just so excited. And I was just, it was like so emotional, because I was just so grateful. I couldn't explain the gratitude. And I went live that night just to say thank you to everybody, and just to talk about the products, and just talk and just be with my community. Mm-hmm. And the next day I was going to go package the orders, because I have my office at home. So I'm in there, I'm packaging everything, I'm filming. And as I'm filming, I'm getting more orders. So I just got emotional on camera, and I'm just like, guys, like, y'all don't understand. Like, it might look small to y'all, but this is huge to me, because I put blood, sweat, and tears. And, I took courses, I did all these things. Mm-hmm. And I ran out, and it was like literally just enough. Like I couldn't have, it was crazy. It was just enough products for who ordered. Like I didn't have to delay anyone's order, but I did, have to announce that everything was sold out. Mm-hmm. But it was just amazing. And I was packaging orders for hours. And I finally made it to the post office. I had my 11-year-old niece. I'm like, hey, you want to come with me real quick just to the post office? And it was about to close. So it was so dramatic. I'm running in the post office with my garbage bag. And then I accidentally put something in the garbage bag. So I had to go in the back of the post office to ask to get it back. They let me back there. I'm swimming through packages. It was crazy. But it was I would not change anything. It was amazing. Truly blessed. Don't take it for granted.
That's amazing. That's a great feeling. I see some ladies, I think Dominique said that was really good. Marie said that was awesome. Christina said, aw, to the part with your mom. And it's amazing because some people, it takes them a while to get a sale, and you were able to launch and get sales literally like instantly and sell out within 48 hours. And I can just imagine how that feels. Not only that, being able to package all of those orders up within a few hours. You just launched 2 days ago, right? It's only been 48 hours and you're packaging all these orders. And especially with the first few packages, for some reason, you want to make sure everything is sitting right. The card got to sit at the exact angle. So it's going to take a lot of time to put that package together. And the fact that you had so many, I knew that took some time, right?
I was like, oh, okay. I didn't eat. I was like, okay, I'm gonna order some food. I'm gonna do this after, and I'll be able to chill for the rest of the day. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, it's 7 o'clock at night. I'm still packaging orders. But I wouldn't trade it. It was awesome.
No, really, that is amazing. Congratulations again. I see a question about influencers. Someone wants to know, did you use influencers? I don't know if she came in at the part where you were listing things that you did or not, but I guess if you want, just answer that question really quick.
Yeah, sure. So I actually have not, so I haven't used any influencer. This girl actually wrote me, she's so sweet, and she asked if she could be an influencer. I sent her some, of the products, and she did post about it, and that was nice, but I have not used any paid influencers. I actually haven't used any paid advertisement at all. Like, everything has been super organic. And that's why I feel like it is very important to date your audience, because sometimes when you come off really silly, it won't work. So you might not even have to run ads. It might just come super organic if you but yeah, so it's like, like I used her influence one time, and she's so sweet. But no paid influence.
But not really, yeah. I get you. So the answer, who asked that question? Let me see. I think Natasha. So the answer is no. On YouTube. Right. The power of organic marketing is just so great, honestly. Like, especially when, like you said, your audience, your brand, you build such a brand. It's amazing. Some of my biggest months, I've used no ads, like you said. And so, yeah, we're gonna touch on that. I see some people asking questions about platforms and all that. Y'all, we gonna get to the questions at the end.
I love it.
Right? Let us get through the story, because the launch wasn't the only accomplishment that she was able to see, right? What really blew me away was that within just a little over 2 months, I want to say like about 60 days, you sold over 114 products. And that was back in, I think you told me that back in late May. So by now it's over that amount. So from the time you launched to late May when you hit me up, you sold over 114 products. I guess, tell me, how did that feel? And did you expect that after you saw the success of your launch within 48 hours?
So no, because I have this thing where I'm just like, me? Like, what? So honestly, I wasn't expecting, I was hoping for it, because I know the type of work that I was putting in. And I was trying to do everything super professional. So I keep track of all the orders in an Excel sheet. So I'm looking at everything go up, and I'm like, okay. So I was talking to my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, it looks like I'm about to sell 100 products. And he was like, oh my gosh, like, wait, haven't you only been launched for this amount of time? I'm like, yeah, like, this is crazy. Like, I've never experienced something like this. So he was like, you should announce it. And he actually gave me the idea. He was like, you should announce it and do like a little like sale or giveaway or something, because that's amazing. Because I'm like, I'm like so humble. I'm like, I don't want to announce and think people think I'm showing off. He was like, no, babe, that's a huge accomplishment. Like, you need to celebrate that. So I did announce it. I think I did like a giveaway or like some type of discount. And before I was even able to announce it, the fact that it was 100, it just kept going up and up and up and up. So I'm like, okay, it's over 100 at this point, but I'm still going to announce it. But yeah, so when I wrote you, I was just like, girl, like, this is going crazy. So yeah, I was shocked, but also very like, okay, hard work is definitely paying off. And yeah.
Yes, most definitely. Congrats again.
Thank you.
I hope that you see many of thousands and tens of thousands of orders and products sold within the near future. Wishing that for you, praying over your business, because it's an amazing feeling. Like, this is your baby.
Absolutely.
And you're seeing it blossom into just something that's so great and impactful too, because how you're building your brand, like you said before, it's not only about buy my product. It's about how are you feeling, your mental health, your self-care. It's about all of those aspects. And so as you grow, the people that you are actually selling the product to, they're going to grow in their perspective lives as well. So their respective lives, I'm sorry, as well. So that's super exciting and definitely something to clap for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wanted to ask this question because I tend to get this a lot. Obviously, I'm a brand strategist. Sometimes people think I'm a business coach or whatever, but I get business questions all the time. I get brand questions all the time. And I always tend to get this question of, or this, how do I put it? It's a statement or a question. The point is, people tend to complain when they don't see success overnight. So my question to you is, do you think there's an overnight formula or some type of overnight secret to success? Like, do you believe that? And why or why not?
Okay, so I feel like we could look at that one or two ways. First, I feel like there can be overnight success if you're on a certain platform already, right? So like if Kim Kardashian starts a brand for nose patches tomorrow, it's going to sell out because her platform, and that's going to be an overnight success. But if I sell that, I don't believe in the sense of overnight success because nobody is seeing the hard work that you're putting behind the scenes. They just see when you get there. So next year, if this gets bigger, people are going to think that I'm an overnight success because they never heard of me, you know? So they see my product Telfar. That seemed like an overnight success. He might have started this back in 1996, like, you know, but it just blew up. So I feel like when you look at it, it's in two ways. If you're, you know, platform, or if you're just grinding, putting in that hard work behind the scenes until the fruits of your labor finally start to show. So yeah, I feel like you can look at that in two different types of ways, if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. And I agree with you. There are people who have celebrity, right? There are people who have celebrity influence, and they have that audience that's ready to buy anything they throw out there. If, you know, Chris Brown was to go on, well, he's already on tour. But if Chris Brown were to go on tour tomorrow, I'm probably more than likely buying a ticket simply because, you know, of his celebrity status and, you know, the influence that he has on me, right? And so when it comes to those big celebrities, those huge celebrities, yes, there is somewhat of this overnight success element to them. But even then, there are teams that they hire months before, sometimes even years before, that have put in the work. And it just seems like an overnight success because they pop up and say, hey, y'all, tomorrow I'm dropping this. Or hey, y'all, tomorrow I'm dropping my album. You know, Beyonce dropped her album somewhat by surprise, but she had been working on that for months, if not years, right? And so it's important for us, like you said, to acknowledge that there's work that goes on behind the scenes. There's a brand that's came to my mind when you said Telfar. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's this new handbag type of brand that seems like an overnight success as well. But I scrolled down this young man's Instagram all the way back to when he was still at Clark Atlanta, and he was grinding from 2020, and he just started like getting his shine and selling out like this, having Fab wear his clothes, having P. Diddy's son wear his clothing, his jackets, things like that. And so I thought it was a great question to ask because I wanted to just get your take on that, right? And so while we're talking about the work that goes into it, it's important that we highlight that work. We highlight sacrifices and changes that we need to make to our mindsets or ourselves, our lives, whatever, right? And so I want to ask you, what are some of the sacrifices or changes that you had to make to see your business succeed?
So as you mentioned, like someone could start something a year prior, right? So it was so much that went into this brand before I even announced that there is a brand coming. So prior, I had people women sampling my products for 6 months. So I had a pregnant woman. I had a woman that's experiencing reoccurring yeast infections, someone that suffers with BV, someone experiencing postpartum, and just someone that, you know, doesn't really complain much. So this went in 6 months before the actual brand planning went in. And then before that, testing formulating, learning how to do this, because I make everything myself. So learning how to actually make the product, that took months. So now we make the product. Now we sample the product for 6 months. Now we learn about marketing. Now we make the website. Now, you know what I mean? So it's so much that goes into it that people honestly don't see. And yeah, it's a lot, but I'm sorry, can you repeat
the sacrifices?
Yeah, I feel like I'm answering the question wrong. I was about to go on a tangent, and I'm like, wait, let me draw back.
Oh, you're answering it right. You were giving like the lead to the answer, which was what are some of the sacrifices that you had to make or changes you had to make? So you opened it up well. I think you're leading down what specific ones you made.
I think I was about to go on a tangent. I'm like, wait, let me go back to the question. But yeah, some of the sacrifices I had to make was just dedicating prior. So I couldn't think about quick money. I couldn't think about, getting the return back so fast. So I'm sacrificing, I'm putting out all of this, trusting, investing, giving free product for people to sample, even though I've spent so much on the ingredients. So that's a sacrifice right there. I'm up researching, I'm just learning, because I don't want to just put out anything, or I don't want to just say, hey, use this. I want to make sure that this is taking all the proper steps. So sacrificing sleep. Yes, I'm still having to get up to go to work the next day, but I know the vision that I have, and I know what God told me to do, so I'm being obedient. And just all of those type of things. Maybe not going out, maybe not hanging out with my friends this weekend because I'm buckled down. I'm in my office. I could have fun later. This became fun to me because this is something I'm extremely passionate about. So those were just some of the sacrifices. Even my boyfriend one time, he's like, when's the last time you hung out with your friends? I'm like, listen, I'm working, okay? Listen, I got something that I'm trying to do, all right? But yeah, so those are some of the sacrifices: sacrificing fun, sleep, money, investment returns, but it's all worth it in the end, because now look, you could have even more fun because
right. It's I don't remember how the quote goes, but it's something along the lines of, you're working now while everybody else is playing, and then you get to play later while everybody else is still working, right? And if that's not how the quote goes and that would sound good, then give me the quote and put my name on the quote. But yes, that is so true. And it's also important to make certain changes to habit-wise or lifestyle-wise, because one of the things that I see happen is we try to bring our old version of ourselves to new heights.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't work, because you have to continuously evolve into this better and bigger person. So when people back home or family members or whatever, they're like, oh, well, you changed. I was supposed to change. If I didn't change, I would be concerned, and I'd probably be stuck back at home with.
Absolutely.
But it's hard.
It feels uncomfortable, but that's how you know you're growing. And when things are happening, when it's uncomfortable, you're not supposed to feel success and it be comfortable the whole time, so because you're growing, you're stretching, you're building this tenacity so you can handle the pressure of success, the fast pace. You got to be able to handle that. So it'll be seasons where you have to isolate and really buckle down. You can't go hang out with your friends. You have to sometimes sacrifice, and it'll pay off later. And yeah, everything will be worth it.
Right. I 1,000% agree with you. Jessica's doing cartwheels for some reason.
Oh,
but
yes, we do cartwheels.
But yes, honestly, you are a true hustle babe, because just sitting back and hearing the fact that you put all this work into this brand, but not only that, the fact that you took the time to invest in the knowledge to make sure that you had the right pieces to put together into this strategy plan, so when you launched, it would be successful. The fact that you care so much about the end consumer and how they feel and what they think and how this affects them. that really does make you into just the definition of what I thought a hustle babe should be, right? And so you also did a couple of things that a lot of entrepreneurs are scared to do. For example, within your first few months, you held and hosted your own event, right? And that's something that I haven't even done yet. And it's been 3 years and some change. Yeah. Right. And so I originally wanted to hold an event in 2020, but I mean, we saw how that went. And from that point on, it's kind of been like, oh, will people actually show up? Or, you know, what will actually happen if I do that? So that's something that you did. Another thing that you did that I absolutely love is you rented out a private jet studio for a promotional shoot. And then you also released a brand new collection called Air Zoe, and you did all of this within the first few months of you launching. Where did you find the confidence from to do that, to host your own event, knowing that people may or may not show up, to rent out that private jet studio and put that type of creativity into your content, into your collections launch? And like, just where did you find the, like, just give me your mindset on that.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna let you know it comes with a lot of prayer, a lot of trust in God, because you know, you just have to have confidence. You have to have faith, because if you don't, what's the point? Because if you keep doubting yourself, you will never do it. If you say, oh, like if you say, if I don't have this event, nobody will come, then nobody will come because you're not going to have the event. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm putting it out there. I know I'm doing the work, and you just have to have that confidence, and you just have to tell yourself like, it's going to work, because regardless, I'm going to do this, whether one person shows or whether 10,000 people show, I'm going to do this because this is my purpose. Like, you know, so I just try to walk with that energy and that confidence. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I feel like that all the time. I have my up and down moments where I'm just like questioning things, you know, but then I always have in the back of my mind, you got to do this, because if you don't do it, who will? And I don't know, I'm just a super creative, like my mind just goes like, I don't know, like I like with the whole Air Zoe situation, I planned that like before I even launched. Like I don't know, like my brain I just take off, because I'm like, okay, when you start, now you got to think about the next. You got to think about the next. You got, like, you know what I mean? So after you launch, before you even launch, you need to think about your next 3 moves, your next 3 launches, your next 3 stages. So never like be comfortable. Yeah, like never be comfortable where you are. You want to keep that wow factor. You want to keep shocking the audience, because they don't want to get bored with your product. They don't want to get bored with your message. So just think, what has not been done? Mm-hmm. Mix this audience with this type of, like, you know what I mean? Like that would have probably been like a music video photo shoot or like a video shoot. No, I'm going to mix my product, because this is travel size products. This is luxury. We need to be on a private jet. Like, you know what I mean? So that's just where my brain goes. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just where my brain goes. So even with my, you know, normal size brand, I'm like, we need jacuzzi tubs, we need spa vibes, we need a lot of candles, we need to exude what I'm feeling about the product. So however you feel about the product, try to exude that. Because also what I realized with a lot of brands, entrepreneurs, they'll have this vision in their head, but they'll just do like a white backdrop and here's the product. And they want people to kind of already know how they're thinking, but how would they ever know? Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to know your vision. Oh, this is a luxury brand. It's just a white background. It's not screaming luxury. I need it to scream, because that's what's going to say, oh, this is a luxury product. Oh, I just want a piece of it. Even if I get a sample size, I feel luxury. I feel like, you know, that same vibe that you'll feel in Gucci. You go in there, you know it's a luxury store because you feel like money. Mm-hmm. It's a difference when you walk in Gucci and you walk in Dollar Tree. Like, it's just a difference. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I can tell long stories.
You're good. Girl, I tell longer stories than you, so you're fine. Like, you ask me a question, I'll be talking for the next 30 minutes. So you're completely fine. Dominique said she needed to hear that. Jessica said, I feel you for saying that. And honestly, you kind of said what was on my mind, because the vision that you're given is just yours, right? So you can't expect somebody else to even be able to understand the vision, let alone be able to visualize what's in your head. It's important that you do the work to make sure that they can see that and feel the impact of the vision that you were given. Not only that, but it's important for you to do the work. Like you said, one of the things that you did was you worked at it, you got an idea, you worked at it, and then you plan 3 steps in advance as well, because you know how much, you know, that work ethic will actually pay off for you. Like we got some people that they want to chill and wait for stuff to fall in their lap, or do something today and not do it tomorrow and expect them to experience some type of win. They have no type of consistency or no type of system or no type of strategy, and they expect things to work out for them, and then either, you know, beat themselves up about something that could have been a win and could have been successful had they had given it the proper time, nurturing, and, you know, put in the proper work for it all. So I'm so happy that you said that, because that is something that I literally recorded a video yesterday and posted a video yesterday. And I went on a little rant about motivation on YouTube, and that was an element of it. So I'm happy that you brought that back up so they could hear it from somebody else. It's not just me, because I feel like sometimes
this is
you
true.
gotta hear
and
it.
then that's why entrepreneurs give up so easily, because they're not, you know, they feel like, okay, what do I do now? Like, no, don't think of it in the moment. It needs to be like already thought of, so it's just flowing, you know?
Yeah, you need to take the time to plan for your business. You need to have those sessions where you reflect on what happened the past month or the past quarter, and you plan for the next quarter. So this quarter, you should already know I'm rolling this out, that out, this out. In the eHustle Club alone, in 3.0 version of the eHustle Club, literally their schedule is planned out all the way through October or November, right? Where we have every single session that we're going to have every single week is mapped out. Even the slots that guest speakers haven't confirmed yet, guess what? Somebody's going to fill that spot. And as long as God sees that I'm working towards that, I'm doing the pitching, I'm going to the networking events, I'm hitting up the people on the phone, I'm doing whatever, somebody's going to fill that slot, and it's going to happen, right? And so we have to have that type of mindset when it comes to anything in life, but especially when it comes to our business. Like, it's one thing to have the vision, it's one thing to have the goal, but are you going to work for it? And are you going to work for it consistently, and then plan ahead so that it could constantly happen for you, right? So we said a lot on that topic. You kind of touched on what inspires you a little bit, but is outside of what you've already said, what inspires you on a day-to-day to get up and continue grinding? I know that you said nobody else will do it, but what are some of the key things that you think keeps that engine running for you?
So what keeps me running, I feel like, is just remembering my why. So I have it written on my board in my office, and it says, what's your why? And sometimes I have to like look at it again, because sometimes you get weary. Sometimes you feel like, should I really be doing this? Because I'm human. Like, everybody has these emotions. And even in my room, like, I have, you know, just certain things that keep me going, certain scriptures. And I keep it fun. I keep it exciting. I keep it like a routine thing. When I wake up in the morning, I do certain things. I go in the office, I set the vibe, put on my little music, light my candle. Like, you know, you gotta make it. It's also about environment, because if you're having your business, everything's all over the place. You got to go here to get the product. The boxes is on the, like, you know what I mean? Like, keep it clean, keep it fun. I buy little fluffy pillows, and I make it like fun to be in my office, fun to work. But also it comes with this moments where I'm tired. It comes with this moments where I'm, like I said, I'm weary, but I just look at my why. This is why I'm doing it. I'm looking at my end goal. I know the type of life I want to live. I know what I want to give my children. I know the type of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work for someone till I'm 65 and then I could try to enjoy life. Like, no, I know what I want for my life, and this is what I want. So this is what it takes. So that's just what keeps me motivated. I think about my family. I think about the house I want to live in. And it's not also just like materialistic things and just me. I know what I want to do for the community. I know what I want to do for women. I know what I like, the lives I want to impact. I know like the legacy I want to leave here, like when I'm gone. So I just think about all of that, and it just really keeps me going.
I love that. And it's important to hear too, because I know a couple of the eHustle members, they were feeling a little bit down. We had a class last week on achieving your goals in life and business. And some of them were kind of like beating themselves up because of where they were and where they wanted to be. So it's nice to hear you say what inspires you, because sometimes it's just the little things, such as, buying this cute decoration to go in your office, so that way you feel good when you walk in there. Also, like you said, visualizing where it is that you want to be as far as the house, your family, and things like that in the future, because that definitely keeps me going. And I know that it will keep a lot of people going if they imagine the impact that them succeeding, like what that impact would be on their communities and their families and their lives. So thank you for saying that. Now, in a few minutes, probably like a few moments, I'm going to allow the eHustlers, so our eHustle Club members, I'm going to allow them to ask questions in our Q&A box. And if we have some more time, then I'm going to switch over to YouTube, because they've been asking questions like crazy over here. And I'm going to allow them to ask additional questions. And so for the people who are watching on YouTube, this is an eHustle Club exclusive that you're getting some insight on. So don't beat me up if we don't get to your question, because the eHustle Club members' questions do have to get answered first. But don't worry, I see you. I appreciate you being here. And I'm sure that Zai does appreciate you being here as well. Before we get into the questions, though, I want to give you some time to kind of brag on your products a little bit. I know you talked about your products earlier, but let's see. If you had to pick just one, which of your products are your favorite? And why?
Okay, so what I'll say is what I use the most. Ooh, that's so hard. Listen, I really use my products. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I can't live without them. But what I'll say is I use this one. This is our Soothing Femme Cleanse. So it's just like a daily pH balanced wash. It keeps you odor free, feeling really gentle, soothed. Oh, it just makes you feel really, really good down there. And I would say this one, and if I could sneak one else in, another one in, I would say my Fresh Shower Feel Spray, because girl,
what is that? What's that? What's the shower spray?
I'm sorry.
What is the shower spray? Like, what is it? That's like the first time I've ever heard of it.
So this is our Fresh Shower Feel. Let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can see it. So this is just going to refresh you. So you spray it down there, you spray it back here, and it makes you feel like you just took a shower. So if you're running around throughout the day, you want to freshen up before sex, after sex, before the gym, after the gym, like, girl, it gets real. Or if you're on your period, you're changing, it keeps you odor free, refreshed. It really makes you feel like you just took a shower. Like, seriously. And I don't know, girl. I love my products.
You snuck 2 in. You trying to sneak 3 in? No. But I like that. Like I said, that was the first time I ever heard of like a shower spray before. So I definitely need to get that, because I wrote you while I was at the conference. Well, I commented and I said, I'm getting this tonight. That was before I figured out that the conference was going to be that long, and I was going to be coming home at like 11 something and be dirt tired just to wake up and go to the InvestFest conference again on Sunday. But I definitely need to buy it. I need the Air Zoe, because I'm coming up on a lot of traveling back to back. And I definitely need to get that. So I need to get that. If probably as soon as I get off this live, I need to order that for sure. Hopefully, do you think I'll get it before next week, Tuesday? Or is that close?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We pride ourselves on fast shipping, girl. So
okay. Cool beans. Now the second question I want to ask you is, if I was a new person to luxury feminine care, what are some tips or recommendations that you'd give me?
Okay, so first I would say to use your hands when you are washing down there, because that's to get the best results. You pump it and use it, and you can really get deepen your folds and stuff. And another tip I would say is never insert soap into your vagina, because a vagina is self-cleansing. What you are supposed to wash is your vulva. So that's everything that's inside your lips, disregarding your hole. That is your vagina. You do not put soap in there. And a lot of people don't know that there is a difference between your vulva and a difference between your vagina, and they try to put soap in there. And then I would also tell you that our extra vulva care helps you if you are prone to yeast infections, prone to reoccurring BV, vaginal odor, all that good stuff.
Okay. Thank you. So you heard her. If you are new to feminine care, if you've been using soap all your life, or if you've been, not been using anything, then you definitely want to make sure that you check out those two products that she just highlighted, as well as the tips that she just gave you. Now we're going to get into, I guess I would say, the fun part, but I feel like the conversation we just had was the fun part. But we're going to get into the part where we get to answer some questions from the people who are watching, right? So we got a couple of questions from the eHustle Club members already. One question from Valencia is, how do you develop your content ideas? Because I feel a little stumped on that part.
Okay, so what I do is I just kind of first you want to stay true to the brand. You don't want to do something that if someone saw it, they wouldn't recognize that it's the actual brand. So you kind of want to find something that will give you brand recognition each time. So whether it's a color, whether it's you always use this type of flower in the background, or you want to keep it fresh, obviously. But as far as content, reels are definitely your best friend if you're talking about like Instagram and stuff like that, because that gets seen to more than people that are just your friends. It's going to probably pop up on someone's explore page. And you want to use trendy sounds. You want to keep fun, engaging stuff. You don't want to be so serious all the time. You want to make someone laugh and feel like, oh, I like this brand. Let me look at some more of their stuff, because I just want to feel out their vibe. So when it comes to content, I would definitely say keep it fun, keep it conversational, make it feel as though they want to click on your page and go through some more of your feed. It doesn't always have, like, say for instance, you sell lip gloss, right? The whole page, your whole Instagram page should not be with the lip gloss against the wall and you're just taking every picture is a picture, or it's just the video, a boomerang of you holding the lip gloss.
Right.
You might want to have one when you're putting on a lip gloss and you're doing like a funny reel of like a trending sound. It could be a 5-second trending sound. Don't overthink it. Maybe one day out of the week, take time, look at trending sounds and just save them and write down your ideas for each one. Okay, this sound for this name, I'm going to do this, like, you know what I mean? And that, trust me, it'll help. I hope I answered your question.
So Valencia, did she answer your question? Put it in the chat box and let us know. And then we have someone came in here and didn't put their name. So it says anonymous attendee. How long did you build anticipation for your launch?
Oh man, I would probably, if you don't mind, I could just go back, because I do not remember. It feels like so long ago, and it really wasn't. I posted my first post January 8th, and I launched February 29th. I launched the 28th. When was the last day of February? February 28th, I launched. So yeah, I thought I was beating myself up. I'm like, oh, I should have been posting earlier, but I didn't want to post too early and leave people, just kind of getting bored of the situation. Mm-hmm. But I was just kind of, January 8th, and I launched February 28th.
Okay, so that sounds like, I think that's a month and maybe 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
About a month and 3 weeks. So that answers your question, anonymous attendee, a month and 3 weeks. And then we have another question that says, how did you find out so much information about your target audience demographic?
Well, I attended Chanel, the brand hustlers class, and it was awesome. And I also just Google. Google is your best friend. Google is your best friend, okay? So I used what I learned in this class, and I Googled. I also watched more YouTube videos, and I actually sat down and I wrote down every single thing: demographic, psychographic. I mean, what they watch, what they listen to, the age group. Like literally, I took a whole day of just getting into that, because you don't want to rush the process. Mm-hmm. This day you might be working on demographic and psychographic, and then this day might be working on content ideas, and then like, you know, it's not a race, you know. So yeah.
Yes. So I hope that answered your question too. Basically, after attending the workshop, she did some research on Google, did some consumer research on YouTube. That's what that's called. And then she pieced together the 4 different compartments of her audience. So just to like give y'all some free game, it's demographics, you have your psychographics, your behaviors, and then you have your geography. Okay, so that means locations, yes. That's geography. Your behaviors, that's self-explanatory. Your psychographics are those thoughts. What are they thinking? What are certain habits they have, things like that. And then your demographics are, if the census were to come to your house today and ask you questions about your lifestyle, they're going to collect information from you, such as your gender, your age, your job title, your income. Those types of things fall into the bracket of demographics. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I think we answered that question already. And so I'm gonna mark that as answered. I don't see any other questions from the eHustle Club members. I want to make sure before we go over here and answer a couple of questions from the YouTube Hustle Babe. So if you have a question, ask it now. Not Valencia coming back with a 2-piece. Okay, so Valencia is the one who asked the question about the content ideas. She came back and she said, I viewed your Instagram page and I love how professional / high quality your promotional videos look. How do you plan that out? So I'm guessing, how did you plan out promotional videos? And how do I get my videos to look like that? This is like a 4-part question. Okay. She says, how you set up your content is very similar to how I want my brand to be set up. So I guess to break down her question, how did you plan out your promotional videos? And then we'll answer the second part.
Okay. So how did I plan out my promotional videos? So if I know I have a photo shoot coming, I'll save sounds, because I'll say, okay, I want to make this amount of TikToks, I want to make this amount of reels, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all about planning. You want to save sounds, you want to maybe write down an idea like, okay, this is what I can do. I could, you know, maybe just dance to this song and mouth the words and write captions on the screen, or, you know, you want to keep it fun. Or some of the more serious ones, you want to maybe write down what you're going to say. And if you're not comfortable with being on the video, maybe practice it a few times. And I recorded most of my reels on an iPhone 13. What do I have? iPhone 13 Pro Max. So I don't know if you have an iPhone, but the quality is really good for videos and reels. So yeah, I hope that answers the first part.
And then the second part, I think it did. The second part is, how do you set your Wait, the second part is how does she get her videos like that? So I guess, how does she get high quality videos? But I feel like you kind of touched on that where you mentioned the iPhone thing, right? But do you have any other tips?
Yeah, my phone.
Yeah.
Well, you can use if you have the iPhone 13, I think it's just in the regular 13. It might be in the 12 too, but the cinematic mode, that's really good. It blurs out the background, gives you a little high def, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I answered your question this time, Valencia. And I think she does have an iPhone, but if not, there are places where you can rent cameras from too. And then so if you don't have an iPhone for whatever, but then you have the Google Pixel, which apparently is like bomb as well with the camera. But We have another question from the eHustle Club. And Christina said, did you create your own website or did you get it professionally done? And then what about your logo? And after Christina, we'll take maybe 5 minutes or so to answer some YouTube questions. But
so I actually created both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I created my own website and I created my logo. Yes.
All right. That's Christina. It was short and sweet and to the point. Now, Zai, we're gonna get into a few YouTube questions. We're only gonna take like a handful because I know you gotta go. I gotta eat. We gotta go. But Saya Renee said, what was your sales goals and did you reach it? I'm guessing what was your launch sale goal and did you reach it? You wanna?
If you want to say like what was my launch sale goal, yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, like I was like lowballing it. I'm like, if I make $300, I'll be happy just because like something's selling, Mm-hmm. But I definitely reached that goal. Thank God. I surpassed it. But yeah, I was just like, $300, that'll be cool. Make me feel happy, feel like I'm doing something. But yeah, I definitely reached it. Thank God.
Yes, Saya. So like she said, her goal initially was $300. She was lowballing herself. She ended up selling out within 48 hours. So she actually surpassed her sale goal that she had for her launch. Next question. Let's be random here. Hey Cheyenne, I see you on the live. I see you didn't use model, so we're gonna skip that one. It says, do you yourself have a self-care routine? And then where can I purchase your products? That's all one question. Aww. So I guess we could break it into 2 parts too.
Okay. So yes, I actually do have a self-care routine. Like I'm a real life self-care junkie. Okay. But I love doing like the little under eye patches. I love taking nice little bubble baths. And when I do take a bubble bath, I use my extra vulva care just because, certain things could throw off your pH. So I want to just keep everything good. And I do love whitening my teeth. I love having a little tea latte. I'm weird. I will drink a tea latte in the bath because I have like this like little jacuzzi tub and I just get comfortable. I watch YouTube. Like I really get into my self-care. I have so many products, like face masks, different lotions. I'll use something different for my feet, something for my face, something for my body. Like I'm all over the place. So yeah, I'm a real self-care junkie.
Yes.
Oh, and you can find my stuff at Zion. I'm sorry.
I was just about to say that second part of the question. You're answering it already. So where can they find you?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Zion Organic Essentials, or you can find me on my website at zionorganicessentials.com. Yeah. And I have TikTok as well, Zion Organic Essentials. We everywhere, girl. And thank you for wanting to purchase. That's so sweet.
Yes, and I'll definitely make sure that I put the information in the description box for her. I feel like I already did. Or maybe, I put like a description about you, but I need to put the link. So I'll put the link to her website and also her Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all in the description box so that you guys could check out and support, especially the people who watch the replay, because I feel like there are more people that watch my YouTube live replays than the people who show up on live. So I definitely got to make sure that information is there for them. And Zai, we're going to do probably 2 more questions after this one, and then we're going to wrap up. So Danny in the Rough said, did you self-formulate or use a chemist? That's the first part. The second part is, how was that process and how long did testing take?
So I do self-formulate still to this day. I don't use a chemist, and it does take I usually schedule out a day, a whole day, because I do it in batches. So it's not just like one product. Like I'll do everything, or like all the soaps, and then I'll do the scrubs another day and the sprays another day. So yeah, I do self-formulate.
And do
And
you have a
it's a
testing
long
process?
process.
Yeah.
It's a long process, but it's worth it for y'all because I love y'all.
All right. And then the second to last question that we have is by Melanin Mandy. She said, is the main platform you used Instagram? I don't know if she's talking specifically about launch or if she's talking about actively right now. Is the main platform you use Instagram?
Okay, so if you're talking about when I launched, the main platform I used was Instagram, but now still the main platform I use is Instagram, but I'm also doing TikTok as well. I also do like SMS text club. So I have my self-care junkies in a text club, and I give them exclusive offers and deals and just updates and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Okay, cool beans. So the text club is great. I like to tell people to use SMS along with email and to make it easy, because your email is like a longer version of a text message, or flip it around, your text message should be a shorter version of your email. So it's definitely cool that you have that text club, because I know that helps out a lot. And so let's see. I'm trying to pick the let's see. Oh, okay. Someone said they saw models in your jet promo. How did you find those models? I guess that'll be the last question.
Girl, sliding in the DMs. It works. I found this. So okay, I flew to LA to have the photo shoot. I currently live in New York, but yeah, I just found these girls. My friend she lives in LA, and I asked if she knew anyone that models, or somebody that might be interesting for the brand. And she sent me a few people, and I slid in their DMs, and they saw the brand, because the brand spoke for itself, and they were like, oh my gosh, I am so excited to work with you. Like, yes. So that's pretty much how that went. And I was like, okay, great.
Yes. So I hope that answered your question. I don't even remember who. Oh, I think it was Melanie Mandy, and I saw someone else ask about models earlier too. So for models, she said she used a combination of her network as well as her confidence. So she tapped into a friend that she had, and then her friend gave her a list of people, and then she reached out to those people confidently about her brand, right? So I talked about some of that in the video too. So I'm so happy that you're hitting on this stuff. So I have a question for you, which happens to be a question from Nicole Charisse as well. And this is the last, well, I have one last wrap up bow tying question, but the question I have for you, because this is important for everybody to know, how is your brand, your feminine care brand, different from those that we see every day, the Summer's Eve or I don't even know another one really, but like Summer's Eve and all those other things. How is your brand? Yeah, Vagisil, right? How is your brand different? I kind of know the answer, but I want you to give the people the answer one more time for the people who didn't hear you in the back.
Oh yeah, girl, I got you. So my products are extremely different, because first, let's start off with, they are plant-based. It's no chemicals added. You can pronounce every ingredient that's in my products, and they will actually help the problems that you are facing. They will actually be the solution rather than creating more problems. And it is not a one size fits all product. So I have different washes for different things. So if you suffer with this, it'll be better to use this. If you suffer with this, and you can use them interchangeably as well, because they're safe for daily use. And bringing back to Summer's Eve and Vagisil, I also have additional products such as a scrub that helps with hyperpigmentation and ingrown hairs. And then I have a spray to keep you fresh. And it's not like the mist spray with the fragrance. It's actually a fresh shower-like spray. So all of my products, I have no fragrance added. I have nothing to smell like candy and cotton candy, and no. Like we don't do all of that, because that's just going to cause the problem. We make you feel refreshed, and and we help you balance your pH, and we have safe ingredients, safe products. Results are guaranteed.
Yes. And just to add on to what Zayana just said, is her brand is different from those other brands, because those brands are just throwing stuff at you to get you to buy the product for what you think will solve the problem. Whereas she is focused on not only solving the problem that you have down there in between your legs, but also the problems that you have up here as a result of down there not being its full 1,000%, right? And so her brand is different because she wants to connect with you, build that self-care aspect, build that mental health aspect, and just help you to be an overall like well-rounded, confident, healthy, clean, fresh, rejuvenated woman, right? So that's how her brand is different from the ones that were mentioned in the question. Now, I think this was really good.
If I could add one more thing, you will never see the face of the creator of Summer's Eve. You can, I am like accessible. Like, you know what I mean? You can ask me vaginal advice. You can tell me that you're having odor or you're feeling like this, and I can talk to you about that and give you a solution. And sometimes it's not just me selling my product, it's me telling you how to wash, and me, building that relationship. Like, we can have a relationship. So you can't have that with those products.
Exactly. And so I think this was really good. I think this was something that, well, not this was something. This was a session that a lot of people needed to hear, right? I saw a couple of people on YouTube saying, that's so true. And we had the people that were in the eHustle Club saying that they needed to hear this. I mean, just having you here, I feel like has impacted so many people, the people who are watching live, the people who will watch the replay, because you never really pay attention. But when you're an entrepreneur and you're in the rut, like you're in the issue right now, it's hard for you to see yourself getting out of that struggle that you're in right now. And so to see someone that looks like them be able to achieve such success, I know that that's helpful, right? Because it's helpful to me when I see people like that as well. So I just want to thank you again for saying yes to me and coming on here and talking about your brand and talking about your journey, because it's amazing. And I feel like, I need to show more of my hustle babes off, because y'all are the bomb.com, especially when you do the work. Don't, like we already talked about, do the work, you have the vision, you do the work, and you have the faith, things really do start to unfold for you. So I just thank you so much for coming on here once again. Now, before you leave, is there anything else you want to share? And also, is there any advice that you want to share to maybe a new entrepreneur, an entrepreneur that's currently feeling a little down, anything like that?
Yes. For the new entrepreneurs, or if you're finding yourself as an entrepreneur and you're feeling stuck, really go back to the drawing board. Don't give up. Don't, just because you're not a millionaire right now or you're not seeing the fruit right now, that does not mean you do not have a good product. You just have to get a really detailed, solid message and just kind of learn how to get that across. And like, I had to start this months, as you guys can see, before. So don't think of it as a race. This is your business. This is your brand. Stop comparing yourself to everybody. Don't even compare yourself to me. Don't look at my story and say, oh, I'll never be that. Because I could have said that about, somebody else, and look now. And not to say I've reached the height of success, because I still have a long way to go. And I still get weary and I still get doubtful. But you have to keep these things and set your environment and remember your why. Why are you doing it? Do you even have a why? Do you even know why you're doing it? Are you doing it because it's trendy? Are you doing it because you actually like it? So also find a brand that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life, not just for the right now, because you won't go as hard for your brand if you're just doing it for the right now. There are going to be times where it is tough and people think that it's just a fun ride. No, there's more tears sometimes in the beginning, but if you stay 10 toes down, you will see you have no choice but to see the fruit. So just do not give up. Keep at it. Put your all into it. Remember to rest, because if you're not resting, you can be no good, not only for yourself, but not for your brand as well. So give it your all. Be creative. Think outside of the box. Stop looking at what this person is doing. Stop looking at what's trendy. What do you like? What does people around you like? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much that goes into it. And yeah, just, you got this. Like, you got this. Yes.
That was a word. I see some people over here throwing hearts and saying I'm next and all that stuff on YouTube.
That's right.
The people on YouTube, was this helpful? All my hustle babes watching from YouTube, did you enjoy this session, this hustle talks? I almost called it an episode because it kind of felt like a podcast.
You know, like,
right. You never know. And, but anyway, did you guys enjoy it? Nicole said, I'm crying now. I see yes, exclamation points, yes. For my e-hustlers in the Zoom room, was this helpful? I see that Joyce said, I feel much better about taking the ultimate launch course and working towards getting my brand out there. Thank you. And then Marie also said, thank you. Jessica said she loves it. Dominique said this was confirmation for her. Very helpful. Ali said this was super helpful. Thank you so much. I see Jalen saying yes on YouTube, clapping 10 times. So this was great. Okay. Christina said it was helpful and motivational. This was great. And thank you so much for that piece of advice that you shared as well. And like I said, thank you again. As much as, do you know what's crazy? Sorry, I have to say this. I went to tag your personal page on something and I realized we had DM before. And I scrolled up and I realized we were talking about bottles. For your, yes.
You see how long ago that was?
Right. Oh, wait a minute. This is the same. And for some reason, I didn't connect the dots. I was like, this is the same person I was talking about bottles, because it was kind of hard because COVID had slowed things down. It's hard to find the exact bottles that you wanted. I remember. And I was like, oh my gosh, to see that. It's honestly amazing to see that you had this idea. You came to me, you asked the question. I answered the question scotch-free, completely free. And you actually did something with it. There's so many times that people come in my inbox to the point where, honestly, I don't even have the energy sometimes, because there are people who come and they ask these questions and do nothing with the information, right? But you came, you asked the question, and then you decided to invest in yourself as well. And then you actually made the move. So looking back on that, I was so shocked, because you did it. You got the bottles, you got the product, you got the launch, you sold out in 48 hours, you sold over 114 products in 60 days. It's just amazing to see, all of that, right? But yes, thank you again. And
thank you for having me.
We will talk. You are welcome. We will talk to the people watching on YouTube. Hustle Talks is something that we do within the eHustle Club. So if you want to get in on more of these sessions, if you want to get in on the lessons that I teach about building your brand, building your business, if you want to hear the guest speakers come in and talk about things like business credit, running ads, all that jazz, and really just bond with a network of hustlers who got the same mindset as you and are really focused on the greater end goal than the membership club, the eHustle Club is for you. And obviously you're watching this live for a reason, or this replay for a reason. Support Zion Organic Essentials. I'm going to put all of her information in the description box. I'll put her website and her actual Instagram. Do you want me to put your personal stuff in here too, or?
Girl, you could do it. Cool.
Okay, so I'll put her personal links in here as well, her personal Instagram, as well as I gotta find the YouTube first, and then I'm gonna put the YouTube in here. But all of her links are gonna be in the description box. So support her. Buy her new collection, which is her travel version. It's still summer, and it's y'all gotta spend the night bag. That you gotta pack up, right? You want the travel version of it all. So check it out. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later on YouTube and in my eHustle Club. Members, you know what we do. Hop in the chat, hop in the group chat, tell people how bomb this session was and why they need to watch the replay as soon as it gets added to their dashboard on Friday. So go ahead and blow up the group and let them be sad about missing this because they missed a lot of gems. But thank you so much. I'll talk to you on Instagram, Zai. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Bye, husbands.
Bye, y'all.